Thank you. That's all right.
Okay, if everybody will take their seats, please. If everyone will please take your seats. We're going to go get started. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. If everyone would please take your seats, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. What a wonderful entrance. What a great beginning, Christian. Let's give our bagpiper, Christian Hunter, a round of applause. Christian's from Studio Think. I'd also like to thank the Beach Street Trio, who's been providing the entertainment and the music before we started here, so would you please give them a round of applause? The Beach Street Trio is from Baldwin Wallace College. Welcome to our annual meeting and inaugural luncheon of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. Today, we will celebrate the inauguration of Carter E. Strang as this Bar Association's 5th president. Please enjoy your lunch, and we'll begin our program shortly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this annual luncheon. Continue to enjoy your lunch as we start the process. On behalf of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, it is my pleasure to introduce the head table. Please hold your applause until all are introduced. Starting at my far right, the Honorable Emanuela Groves, Cleveland Municipal Court. G. Christopher Meyer, Treasurer. The Honorable Laura Gallagher, Presiding Judge, Cuyahoga County Probate Court. Robert D. Anderle, Vice President of Membership. The Honorable Patricia Blackman, Administrative Judge, 8th District Court of Appeals. Steven M. Dettelbach, United States Attorney, Northern District of Ohio. The Honorable Maureen O'Connor, Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Ohio. Congressman Louis Stokes. David R. Watson, Executive Director and Secretary. To my left now, Carter E. Strang, Incoming President. The Honorable Nancy A. Fuerst, Administrative and Presiding Judge, Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. Jonathan B. Lyken, Incoming President-elect. The Honorable Diane Palos, Administrative Judge, Cuyahoga County Domestic Relations Court. Eric Gordon, CEO, Cleveland Metropolitan School District. The Honorable Solomon Oliver Jr., Chief Judge, U.S. District Court, Northern District of Ohio. The Honorable Kristen Sweeney, Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court. Lynn M. Lazaro, Incoming President, Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Foundation. Bruce G. Heery, Incoming Vice President. We are also grateful to acknowledge the sponsors of today's annual meeting. Baker and Hostetler, Benish Friedlander, Copeland and Arnoff, Katie Reporting Services, Case Western Reserve University School of Law, Cleveland Marshall Law Alumni Association, Cliffs Natural Resources, First Merit Wealth Management Services, Friedman and Fry, Gallagher Sharp, Jones Day, Corman Jackson and Krantz, Maloney and Novotny, Myers, Roman, Friedberg and Lewis, Ogletree, Deacon, Nash, Smote and Stewart, Oswald Companies, Porter, Wright, Morris and Arthur, Squire Sanders, Thin Solutions, Tucker Ellis, Ulmer and Byrne, Walter and Haverfield. Your support is very appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Several of our trustees have reached the end of their terms. We thank them for their service. Trustees, will you please stand as I read your name, and members, please hold your applause until we've introduced all of our retiring trustees. Edward H. Blakemore, the Honorable Patrick J. Carroll, Lisa A. Reed, Jill Oken, Mary Ann Orini, J. Timothy Bender, Audrey Knight Wankata, Young Lawyers Section Chair. Please recognize the contributions of these trustees this year.
It is my sincere honor to recognize our colleagues in this community who have achieved 50 years in the practice of law. This means, of course, that since they truly have paid their dues, by this time they will now enjoy the benefits of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association without actually receiving any further dues invoices. 24 of our members have reached a half-century of service this year. We are fortunate to have a number of these honorees with us today. Please rise as I call your name, and I ask the audience to again hold their applause until all are announced. Sheldon E. Baskin, Edward R. Brown, Kenneth B. Burns, the Honorable Thomas Patrick Curran, Julius R. Gerlach, John J. Gill, Victor M. Javich, Lucien B. Karlovic Jr., William E. Carnance Sr., Gary A. Kasdan, Frederick E. Kramer, Byron S. Krantz, Walter J. Laska, Dean S. Lukow, Thomas A. Mason, the Honorable Paul R. Mattia, Charles E. Merchant, Gerald A. Messerman, Robert L. Metzger, Raymond R. November, James L. Okar, Robert J. Rotatori, Melvin S. Schwartzwald, and Alan J. Shapiro. We not only salute those who have reached 50 years, but also pay tribute to those who reached the half-century mark in prior years. I would like those of whom we've recognized for the 50-year anniversary that are in attendance today to please stand. In particular, we would like to recognize Richard Katcher, who has reached 65 years of practice.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Barbara K. Roman, and I'm the outgoing president of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. Each year, the bar president has the honor to select a recipient of the President's Award, one of the highest honors bestowed by the Bar Association to an individual who has demonstrated extraordinary service to the bar and to the community. Although each year we are given the task of choosing from among many exceptional candidates, this year's President's Award recipient is in a class of her own. From the first moment that I met Louise Dempsey, I could see her extraordinary heart and sincerity to what I soon came to understand was her intense devotion to education. I am proud to honor Louise for her many years of service to the Bar Association, to the Bar Foundation, to Cleveland Marshall College of Law, and to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Board. Louise has served on the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Board as trustee since 1998 and has served as the board vice chair since 2009. Louise is a senior fellow at Cleveland State University's Education Policy and a retired assistant dean of Cleveland Marshall College of Law. She serves on the board of trustees of John Hayes School of Science and Medicine and School of Architecture and Design, and is also an emerita trustee at Laurel School, her alma mater. Education has long been a part of her life as a daughter of an elementary school teacher. She combined training as an attorney and as a teacher has uniquely positioned her to contribute. Her commitment to the students doesn't end with her official capabilities, but is expressed through her dynamic involvement with the 3 R's program. Louise was involved in the creation of the 3 R's program and has been an active member of the 3 R's Oversight Committee, always ready to offer her assistance to connect with school administration, teachers and students, and to encourage more volunteers from the community, including law students from Cleveland Marshall. She's been a volunteer on 3 R's teams in the classroom and a supporter of the program with donations to the Bar Foundation's Friend of the 3 R Fund. The 3 R's program has immeasurably benefited from her wisdom and support. The children in the Cleveland Public Schools have a true friend and advocate in Louise, whose energy, commitment, and devotion to improving their educational experience is boundless. She has served as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Bar Association, chaired the association's nominating committee, and is a fellow of the Bar Association. Louise became a lawyer at a time when female lawyers were not commonplace. She has been a success in her career and a role model for many women. I have known Louise for a long time and have always recognized her significant contribution to this community. Anyone who knows Louise comes away with great respect for her grace and dignity. Please join me in recognizing the extraordinary lawyer for her great example of continual effort, positive leadership, and a commitment to improving our community. Louise Dempsey, will you please come forward to receive the President's Award? This year, it is my distinct honor to recognize 2 individuals with the press. Oh, I'm sorry. Louise wants to say a word or 2. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Barbara, you have been the most incredible president of the Bar Association, and I've really got to thank you. I mean, this is a real honor to receive an award from you, really. You support the 3 R's. You started the 3 R's Plus initiative. You've worked to get the Cleveland school children in the Lawyers Without Rights program. And every time I go to an event for the Cleveland schools, I see you there and your husband. You are fantastic. And I just want to quickly thank lots of people here in the room because you've just done such wonderful work from all Chief Justice O'Connor, all the judges, and Congressman Stokes, and CEO Gordon, we have spent the last month going back and forth to Columbus, and 2 o'clock in the morning still meeting with the mayor, but we were victorious with the Cleveland plan. Quickly, too, I want to thank my family for all the support they've given me through all these years with the Bar Association, and a special shout out to Dean Steinglass, Dean Emerita Steinglass, who in 1998 encouraged me to apply for the Cleveland School Board. Thank you for your counsel and all your advice. And to my absolutely fantastic assistant, Rita Pollack, my executive assistant, you are great. And finally, to my family and friends at Tucker Ellis, who are helping me through a very difficult time, I love you. Thank you for all your help. Finally, don't ever doubt that any of you in this room can't make a difference with Cleveland school children, whether you do 3 R's, whether you give books, whether you read to the children, whether you tutor to them. You are making a real difference, and you're making a difference in this city, and I really, really thank you. I have to say, and CEO Gordon can maybe correct me on this, but I believe we just got the raw scores for the Ohio graduation test, and the area that got the biggest percentage point in improvement is in the social studies, and guess what? It's because of 3 R's in all of you. So thank you so much. And Barbara, Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Louise. It is my honor, my distinct honor, to recognize two individuals with the prestigious Judge William K. Thomas Award for Professionalism for their enhancement of the ethical standards of the greater Cleveland legal community. Sadly, our first recipient, Michael M. Hughes, passed away early this year, and we therefore dedicate this award to his memory and his example. Mike's practice areas included product liability defense, insurance law, general business and tort litigation, and professional responsibility during his long legal career at Thompson Hine and at Franz Ward. He was a notable attorney in his practice areas, but he went beyond that contribution. Mike served tirelessly as a member of the Bar Association's Grievance Committee throughout his career, helping in the critical and sometimes thankless role of self-regulation of the profession of law. As a volunteer, he investigated grievances and served on trial committees representing the Bar Association in matters before the Board of Commissioners on grievance and discipline. Mike always gave his full and best effort to ensure that matters were accurately and fairly presented. The essence of his contribution to the profession is further revealed through his mentoring of young lawyers throughout his career. His example gave young lawyers the first insight in how to be a lawyer. Mike lectured frequently on the subject of professional responsibility. He served as a trustee of the Bar Association and always made time to volunteer as a judicial panelist for the annual Ohio Mock Trial Competition for area high school students. In the words of his law partner, Keith Ashmuth, wherever he practiced, he exhibited the highest standards of courtesy and professionalism towards his opponents. I never heard any negative comments made about the way he treated fellow lawyers. And even those who he prosecuted showed the utmost of respect for his demeanor and his talents, indicating that he was a gentleman in the performance of his grievance duties. Mike's passing is a profound loss to the Bar Association and to this legal community. We are privileged to welcome among our guests today members of Mike's family, including his wife, Kathleen, and I ask his daughter, Maura Hughes, who is a partner at Calfee Halter, to come forward and accept this award on behalf of her father for his many years of service to the improvement of our profession and to his devotion to the enhancement of professionalism and high ethical standards. Maureen, can you please come forward and accept the award for your father? It is my distinct honor to also present the Judge William K. Thomas Professional Award to Ann C. Rowland, Assistant United States Attorney and Chief of the Major Fraud and Corruption Unit of the U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Ohio. In her position, Ann supervises all of the office's corruption, fraud, tax, healthcare, and economic crime cases. For the past several years, she has supervised the Cuyahoga County corruption investigation that has resulted in the conviction of more than 50 public officials, contractors, county workers, attorneys, and judges. The impact of this groundbreaking investigation has been profound to our community, and we owe a debt of gratitude to Ann for her professionalism and meaningful public service. In the words of Carol Rendon, First Assistant U.S. Attorney, none of the convictions obtained to date in that investigation would be possible without Ann's selfless dedication, relentless work ethic, and commitment to seek justice. Ann and the entire team have put their investigation ahead of other personal and family obligations, working 6 and 7 days a week for more than 3 years. Ann's career has been of service to this community. She was born and raised here, educated at Case Western Reserve University and its School of Law. She chairs the U.S. Attorney Policy Committee, is a member of the Sixth Circuit Pattern Jury Instruction Committee, has served as an adjunct professor at Cleveland Marshall College of Law, an instructor at the Attorney General's Advisory Institute, and a volunteer magistrate in the City of Cleveland Youth Diversion Program. Ann has dedicated her entire career to tackling some of the toughest and most complex cases in Northeastern Ohio, shouldering significant responsibility with the utmost professionalism, treating opposing counsel with integrity and civility, and addressing the court with candor, respect, and honesty. She embodies the best attributes of the legal profession. Please join me in recognizing Ann Rowland for an example of professionalism and ethics. The CMBA's Justice for All Committee oversees and manages the award-winning pro bono and community service programs such as the 3 Rs, the high school mock trial competitions, the bankruptcy bypass program, and many others. In today's times, and with a heightened need, we are grateful to the hundreds of volunteers who donate their time, talent, and energy to help others in our Cleveland community. Every year, the CMBA recognizes exceptional service from among all of the worthy candidates who participate in JFA programs by presenting the JFA Volunteer of the Year Award. This year, we are proud to recognize 2 individuals, Chris Meyer and Marlon Primes, who have both given truly exemplary service to our community. Chris Meyer has done so much. In addition to serving as treasurer of the CMBA, Chris has volunteered for the 3 Rs at Shaw High School for all 6 years of the program's existence, along with tutoring Shaw juniors and seniors through the Turnaround Management Association's Financial Literacy Program. Chris also volunteers for the joint CMBA Legal Aid Society Bankruptcy Bypass Program, serves as a volunteer judicial panelist in the Ohio mock trial competitions, and donates his performing talents to fundraising efforts by the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center. Chris is also a fellow of the Bar Foundation and a friend of the 3 Rs. Chris fosters the development of the next generation of local legal professionals by mentoring law students and new attorneys through the Ohio Supreme Court Lawyers Mentoring Program and through the Next Generation program held at the National Conference of Bankruptcy Judge Seminar. In addition to giving his own time and energy to pro bono and public service programs, Chris is tireless in encouraging friends and colleagues to do the same. Marlon Primes has volunteered with the 3 Rs program since its inception. He has been instrumental in forming 3 teams of U.S. attorneys to visit Martin Luther King High School every year for the program. Marlon served as chair of the JFA committee during the early years of the 3 Rs and is currently serving on the 3 Rs Oversight Committee. For the past 3 years, Marlon has spearheaded a comprehensive day-long field trip for the MLK 3 Rs students to the federal courthouse, an immense effort that includes a unique opportunity for the students to meet with leaders within the justice system and to engage in a mini mock trial event, complete with mock arrest and seizure, oral arguments before a federal judge, and a mock suppression hearing. Marlon also coaches and organizes volunteers to assist MLK students with the Cleveland mock trial. But his volunteer activities are also outside of the CMBA, and they are many, including legal work for his church, service as a Boy Scout troop master, and organizer of volunteer activities for the former Ohio Youth Development Correctional Camp for the Norman S. Minor Bar. Marlon retired last year as a board member of the Bar Foundation, but he remains a foundation fellow, devoting his considerable time and efforts to fundraising and enhancing the CMBA's volunteer and community efforts. We are pleased to welcome him now as a new trustee of the CMBA. Chris Meyer and Marlon Primes, we honor you for your outstanding commitment to bringing those in need in our community. Please come up and receive your awards. The Liberty Bell Award is presented to a non-lawyer for outstanding community service, promoting better understanding and respect for the law and the courts, and promoting civic responsibility. The award is not presented annually, but is reserved for those occasions when extraordinary candidates warrant our recognition. This year, we are pleased to present the award to Dwayne Olderman of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for his extraordinary engagement with the Bar Association and his long service in support of social studies and civic education programs. Dwayne is retiring this month, and we want to take the opportunity to recognize him for his outstanding service to this community. Dwayne has been the rock-solid supporter of the 3 R's and the Cleveland Mock Trial Program, giving these programs their foundation. He has always gone above and beyond to make connections, address issues, deliver materials, encourage volunteers, and meet with teachers to create the best possible programs for the social studies students in the Cleveland schools. The students have been greatly enriched by the efforts of Dwayne Olderman, and I'll just say that with what Louise told us, obviously the test scores are supportive of the efforts that we're all doing. Dwayne began his career as a social studies teacher, although according to his colleagues, he has always had a passion for politics and the law. His career in the schools has spanned over 38 years, during which he has coached high school mock trial teams and helped to develop the Law and Leadership Academy at MLK. In fact, Dwayne's MLK mock trial teams have the distinction of being crowned champions 3 years in a row, a feat not yet matched by any other school. Last year, he worked with district colleague Gail Gaddison and the CMBA to develop a middle school mock trial program, invigorating and extending the reach of law-related extracurricular activity experiences to our younger future lawyers. Dwayne is one of those rare people who earn both sincere respect and genuine affection from students, teachers, and colleagues. His work on behalf of the students and the school district is truly exceptional, and after his retirement this year, he will be sorely missed by those of us at the Bar Association who had the pleasure to work with him to implement our many partnership programs with the Cleveland schools. We wish him well in his retirement and know that he will enjoy spending more time with his family and spoiling his grandchildren. Dwayne Olderman, please come up and accept the Liberty Bell Award. Wow, I can't believe it's a year since I stood here to accept the position of Bar President. These past 12 months have been exciting, exhilarating, hectic, and most of all, truly rewarding. And I am honored and thankful to have served you as President. The office of Bar President is a continuum, and I am proud to have been part of this association's history. I am lucky to have learned from previous presidents, especially Mike Unger, and I am confident in turning over the reins to Carter Strang, who I know will do a fantastic job. I am certain that every president has wished that they could accomplish everything they set out to do. I doubt that anyone has been able to say that, and you can include me on that list. Last year, I told you about plans to build and strengthen our association. I told you we would put mortar and brick to the foundation. I am pleased to tell you that my initiatives have been put into action and the association is strong and vibrant. 3 R's Plus, the pilot program which connects our lawyer volunteers and the 11th and 12th grade students, will ensure that the extraordinary results of 3 R's will continue by developing strong, college-bound students who can return to Cleveland with meaningful careers. The initial steps included a field trip by 33 Shaw High School students to Columbus to visit the Ohio State University and the Ohio Supreme Court. This trip ignited interest in college and careers in the law. One student said he wasn't going to go to college, but wrote thereafter, "I am 100% sure I will now attend college." The 3 R's program continues to be recognized as a civic tie between our profession and the success of this community. Look for additional developments of 3 R's Plus, and please continue to volunteer. Civics education is becoming a statewide and national focus, and the CMBA leads the way. The past President's Council was convened with the participation of CCBA, CBA, and CMBA past presidents, who are invigorated by the opportunity to serve this association. Their collective talents will add to the richness of this association. Starting in a few minutes, I will be the newest member of that group. In our rich legal community, we have prominent lawyers whose stories need to be told and preserved. Our new Legends of the Law series will kick off this fall. This is an opportunity for both experienced and new lawyers to learn and grow from the stories of the best legal talent we have in our town. Membership is the key to sustainability, but non-dues revenue is significant to enhance our fiscal viability. Consider this the first commercial for our new insurance program, providing exclusive discounts to association members with revenue going into the bar piggy bank. Check it out on your table, the information, and say hello to our partners outside of this room on your way out. Income from this program will provide additional funds to continue all of our good work. For our Law Day celebration, I brought the German Federal Bar Association exhibit, Lawyers Without Rights, to Cleveland. The exhibit and the CLEs created a public conversation about the importance of the rule of law. The dialogue highlighted important current national and international topics, demonstrating to the community that our profession stands for the preservation of democracy, civic order, and fairness. The Diversity and Inclusion Conference this year, organized by Becky McMahon and Steve O'Brien, took the conversation to a higher level by providing attendees with a toolkit for implementation. We cannot just continue to talk about diversity and inclusion. We must implement an action plan, providing a place where a diverse set of lawyers can play a role in our law firms, corporations, and government. Among professional groups, lawyers rank at the very bottom for diversity and inclusion. We need to bring our profession to the top of that list. Frequent forums are necessary to bring the decision makers to the table, compile data on inclusion, and develop strategies to achieve long-term success. And we are moving this Bar Association into the 21st century with online communities, online job board, electronic legal directory, enhanced lawyer referral service capabilities, and a variety of online CLEs. Partnerships are important. I am pleased that we have formed meaningful relationships with the business community, COSI, Greater Cleveland Partnership, the Cleveland Metropolitan Schools, our local law schools, and the courts. And speaking of partnerships, the Bar Foundation President Ray Malone and I collaborated to bring the association and the foundation closer together than ever, solidifying, I hope, a culture of cooperation for our common causes. Also, speaking of the Bar Foundation, I want to thank all of you for your support of our annual Hallmark fundraising events, which yielded the highest single-year contributions in our history. The foundation's strength solidifies the good work of our association. Significant portions of our community remain underserved and deserve our attention. The CMBA is working with the Legal Aid Society and the Domestic Relations Court to develop new pro bono programs which will assist segments of our community, including our veterans who are home and returning home. Plans for further pro bono efforts will continue under the strong leadership of Carter Strang. So many of you have volunteered your time. Thank you so much. I encourage you to continue to stay involved. What we do and how we do it defines who we are. Continue to make Cleveland known for its philanthropy and public service. Be proud to be a Cleveland lawyer. Naturally, I couldn't have done all of this by myself, and I have many people to thank for making my presidency so rewarding. First and foremost, let me thank David Watson and the entire bar staff for their constant hard work, support, and enthusiasm. They truly approach each project with heart and soul. And we made a great decision by bringing David Watson in as executive director. You cannot do this job without the support of a great group of officers, executive committee, and board. Many thanks to Carter Strang, John Lyken, Chris Meyer, Rob Anderley, and the entire board of trustees. This association cannot be meaningful without leaders of our sections and committees either. Thank you all for your service. Volunteers is the key to success of this organization. I also want to thank my law firm, Myers, Roman, Freeburg, and Lewis, for their complete support, which allowed me to serve as president. I am very grateful to my domestic relations team of Jennifer Singleton, Brittany Kogan, and Cheryl Schenkelman for picking up the additional duties that fell in their laps. Many thanks to Linda Seppi for handling my scheduling and appointments and making sure I was where I needed to be at all times. It is amazing how many meetings, events, and programs required my attendance. Ann Myers and Jane Geneva have my total gratitude for leading the Lawyers Without Rights Committee and events to a very successful outcome. We put over $10,000 in the tills of the foundation from that event alone. Also thanks to Larry Zuckerman and Diane Citrino and the rest of the committee for their hard work and contribution. It resulted in a great event and a substantial contribution to the foundation. And I couldn't have done this without the complete support of my husband, Rick Dorman. He was my editor, occasional driver, errand boy, and cheerleader. Rick and I will be celebrating our 20th anniversary in a few days, and next week we are leaving on a long-awaited vacation and second honeymoon. Finally, I want to sincerely wish my successor, Carter Strang, a great year as president of this association. If he has as much fun and satisfaction as I did this year, he will truly have a rewarding experience. If you have any doubts about the need to be part of a local bar association, I submit that the case has been made. Your involvement continues to make this association strong, and your contribution to this community and profession is awesome. You make a difference. I greatly appreciate your confidence and support during this past wonderful year. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all and wish you, and especially the CMBA, continued great success and prosperity. You have all made me very proud to say, I am a Cleveland lawyer.
Thank you, Barbara. What a wonderful year she's had as president, and as executive director, I had the great privilege of working with her literally every day, and she's done a wonderful, wonderful job as president and represented you all so very well. So, Barbara, again, thank you. I have the distinct privilege of introducing Mr. Steve Dettelbach. About a month ago, we contacted Steve and asked him to participate in this annual meeting and introduce our incoming president, Carter Strang. And as usual, Steve said, sure, how can I be of help? He's always been so supportive of this bar association. He and his team are regularly speaking at CLEs and serving as moderators for panels and such. So Steve, thank you and your team for your constant support. After he said yes, I suddenly had this panic feeling like, okay, I get to introduce this guy. How do you introduce somebody like Steve Dettelbach? It's, you could focus on things like, you know, he is the U.S. District Attorney here in the Northern District of Ohio. You could focus on his outstanding legal career. You could talk about the fact that he was a partner at Baker and Hostetler. You could talk about his unbelievable court record and all the things he's done to contribute not only to this legal community, but to the community at large. And those would all be great things. But it just didn't seem right. Everybody gets to recite those things every time Steve gets to be introduced. I got to thinking when I was in law school and thinking about practicing, I wanted to be like Steve. I wanted to be the guy that's putting the bad guys in jail. You know, that's out there fighting the good fight, standing up for civil liberties and doing the things that he's been doing. And Barbara referenced so many of those things that he and his team have been doing. They make us proud to be lawyers. They make us proud to be part of this legal community and proud to be Cleveland lawyers, right, Barbara? So I got to thinking about, we just recently had a movie filmed here of the Avengers. Everybody got to see that. And you know, Steve and Carol and Ann, Marlon and their team, they're really like our hometown version of the Avengers, right? I mean, they're out there doing the good things. I mean, he's Elliot Ness with his foot on the barrel, you know, doing the illegal contraband thing. He's a superhero. And so without any further ado, let me introduce a gentleman who's Batman, Robin, Superman, and combination of those guys plus Shaquille O'Neal. And let me introduce to Mr. Steve Dettelbach.
I am really not quite sure what to say, David. Thank you, David, President Roman, Chief Justice O'Connor, Congressman Stokes, members of the bench, the bar, award winners, honored guests, family, and friends. Introducing Carter Strang in just a couple minutes is a little bit like trying to sprint through a triathlon. But for those of you who know Mr. Strang, you know that that is a particularly apt task when introducing Carter Strang. He is truly the Renaissance man. Forget his legal career. First of all, his athletic career in and of itself is daunting. As a member of the Tucker Ellis Wheelers, he rides to work. He is a Cleveland triathlon participant, and at Kent State, an ice hockey and football player, where he was the better known and better defensive back of the team of Strang and Nick Saban. Whatever happened to that guy? I don't know. In addition to that, he is an incredibly devoted family man, married to Deidre, who is a speech therapist with the Shaker Heights Public Schools, and the father of 3 sons who I know he is wonderfully proud of and who are here today, Stephen, Carson, and Kevin, 2 of the 3 of whom are aspiring attorneys. And when my father was sworn in as a Cuyahoga Bar Association, I vividly remember sitting at this event and watching that occur. And as a young attorney, I can't think of something that stuck with me longer, and I hope it sticks with your sons as it stuck with me. And the third, who is a musician, who will actually, no offense to us lawyers, bring beauty into the world. You could talk about the numerous awards and achievements that Carter has received. A member of the Kent City School Hall of Fame, Kent State's Honor College and Distinguished Alumni of 2011. Last year's, or 2 years ago, CMBA Volunteer of the Year Award, and a past president of the Federal Bar Association, which I think makes him the first individual to ever hold both of those prestigious positions, this Bar Association and the Federal Bar Association. But I think the thing that is most impressive about Carter is not his resume, but his zeal to make the legal community a more integral part of the broader community in which we live. In Mr. Strang's view, the role of an attorney is not limited to winning decisions for clients or completing transactions. In Carter's view, an attorney's place is in the classroom, in the rec center, out with the community, and in the highest traditions of those of us who hearken back to a time when you were a lawyer in a town or a city, people looked to you as a counselor to the community. That is what Carter Strang is about. He has long been one of Cleveland's biggest champions on that. He has coordinated Tucker Ellis's diversity program. He chaired CMBA's 3R committee, one of the great programs that this Bar Association participates in. And he oversaw Tucker Ellis's partnership with the Cleveland Early College High School at John Hay, including both 3Rs, internships, and mock trial coaching. But his vision goes beyond just the wonderful existing programs that are out there now. He has long preached that we need to be more creative, that we need to push ourselves out there as lawyers into the community more and more. And I think you'll hear a lot about that both today and this year. Under Carter's leadership, he approached our office immediately to help with one of his programs, an innovative program for outreach into the community. And we, of course, said yes immediately because it is a wonderful, wonderful idea. Carter brings passion, bordering on fervor, to law, and now to his term as CMBA's next president. So it is now my pleasure to present to you the next president of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, a person who is ready to take the baton and run the relay in what we all know will be record time, Carter Strang.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. Thanks to all of you. It's my pleasure at this time to talk about our past president, Barb Roman. Barb, you indeed made all of us proud to proclaim, "I am a Cleveland lawyer." Under your energetic leadership, the CMBA offered more and better programs to assist our members and in the practice of law. You enhanced our community outreach with the addition of 3 Rs Plus. You put the CMBA at the center of the discussion about access to the courts and the importance of the preservation of the rule of law. Your advocacy of more funding for legal aid and the interesting Lawyers Without Rights program are but 2 examples. And you also enhanced our relationship with our business groups, our law schools, our colleges, and so many other organizations. While all of this is a fitting legacy, I must say another one is your leadership style. It was an open, inclusive, and engaging style. It was all about the we and not about the me in getting things done. On behalf of the CMBA membership and its staff and officers and trustees, I present you with this small token of our appreciation. It is indeed an honor to introduce Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor. She's the 10th Chief Justice in Ohio history and is the first female Chief Justice. She joined the court in 2003, was re-elected in 2008, and was elected Chief Justice in 2010. Raised in Strongsville and Parma, her career spans 3 decades since her graduation from Cleveland Marshall College of Law in 1980. And includes service as Ohio's Attorney General. She was recently honored as one of Cleveland Marshall's 2 2012 Alumni of the Year. Now, I ask that she swear me in as CMBA President, not only because she's the highest ranking court official in our state, but also because she's an advocate. She's an advocate for citizenship education and for improving the quality of the judiciary, 2 issues that are really near and dear to the CMBA. In fact, at a recent meeting of representatives of all Ohio's Metropolitan Bar Associations, she kicked it off by noting the importance of citizen education and urging all the other bar associations in Ohio to adopt our 3 Rs program, to which we eagerly volunteer. And she's also frequently commended the CMBA for its efforts to improve the quality of our judges. Now, Chief Justice, we thank you for your leadership, and we look forward to working with you even more closely in the coming year.
Will you do this? Okay. Carter, it's an honor to be here and swear you in. If you will, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carter Strang,
I, Carter Strang,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the articles and regulations
that I will support the articles and regulations
of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association,
of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the newly elected officers of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. Now, please stand as your name is called and remain standing for the oath of office. First, Jonathan Lyken, President-elect. Bruce Heery, Vice President. Chris Meyer, Treasurer, David Watson, Executive Director and Secretary, and Robert Anderley, Vice President of Membership. I would also like to introduce the individuals who will serve as new trustees. Please stand as your name is called as well and remain standing for the oath of office. Carl Beckany, the Honorable Michael P. Donnelly, Gregory G. Geis, Marlon M. Primes, Bruce M. Hennis, the Honorable Joan C. Sinnenberg, and Phyllis A. Ulrich. The current chair of the Young Lawyers section also serves on the Board of Trustees. This year's Young Lawyer chair is Marcus E. Apellis. Please join me in recognizing and thanking these individuals for their willingness to serve our association in this manner. I'm now going to introduce Judge Nancy A. Fuerst, who will administer the oath to our incoming officers and board members. Judge Nancy A. Fuerst is the administrative and presiding judge of the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. Judge Fuerst has been on the Common Pleas bench since 1997, following a legal career that included both the general practice of law and a clerkship with the United States District Court. She's a 1988 graduate of the Cleveland Marshall College of Law. She's someone that cares deeply about the role of the courts and judges in our society, and she's been outspoken about issues that impact our citizens, including foreclosure scams. She is a supporter of the CMBA and our efforts to improve the profession and our community. She was an early and enthusiastic supporter of the new CMBA pipeline program for college students that I'll be discussing later. Not only is your court a participant in the program, but she's serving as a mentor as well. I look forward to working with her this year, as well as the 3 Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas judges that will now be on our Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you. Good afternoon and greetings from the Common Pleas Court. Chief Justice O'Connor, Congressman Stokes, my fellow judges, attorneys, families, guests, and honorees today. Greetings. Barb, just very briefly, thank you for all the work you've done. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you, always in a very constructive way. Good luck and good wishes as you return to life as you knew it. And Carter, congratulations and good wishes to you. You can count on the continued collaboration from the courts to make things work better in the legal area. And I know with those who are now going to take the oath that you will be successful serving us wisely and well. So, for those who are going to be sworn, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the articles and regulations of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of my office to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations to everyone.